everyone, I'm Dr. Sonali and I welcome you all to CSC Core Concepts in the series of Learning Python. So we have been discussing about the four pillars of object-oriented programming, namely inheritance and polymorphism. We have already discussed them and now we are going to start with the process of encapsulation. So basically what do we mean by encapsulation is that when you bind the data members and the method in a single unit. Why do you need to do that? Okay. So let us understand one simple example that let's say you have a project of a banking system, right? Now there are certain details in the bank detail, customer details which can be publicly told, but there are certain details which should be very private. Now, if you are defining a class and the types of variables what we have been discussing so far, and you have various methods like let's say when you deposit, so you have a deposit method. When you withdraw, you have a withdraw method, right? All this, you have an update balance method. So many methods you can write and you can use so many variables like name, age, phone number, etc. Certain details are fine, they are accessible by the employees of the bank, but certain details need to be very private, right? Let's say, for example, the balance, right? Which should not be told publicly to everyone, right? So now, how can you protect here in this object-oriented programming? So for this, we use encapsulation. So basically, encapsulation will help us to create some modules. Like this is a module that is a deposit. Okay, so for depositing, you require some amount which you are depositing, and update will be there in the balance. So this is a complete module. Now, in case if you do not want to show this module publicly, then you can create this module completely private. Okay, so by declaring it as private, you can use only certain restrictions are there. Okay, not everybody can access or use them. Secondly, let's say for example, if you have certain details which you can show, okay, to everybody. So by default, everything is what public, right? Unless and until you specify. But there can be certain methods which may not be used publicly, but they can be used only within the subclasses, if any. Right. So there is another structure by which you can create them. So this is something which will help you to create scenarios, real world scenarios where every detail, every method, every variable need not be shown publicly. Okay. So let us have a look at them. So what are the types of access? We have three types of access. One is public, second is protected, and the third one is private. Now, public is what we have been doing so far. So, whatever we have discussed, whatever types of variables, methods, they are all public. So, you don't need to mention anything specifically if you are declaring it as public. So, here I have a class employee, and this is the initialization constructor. So, where I have one variable name. So I am declaring this variable name as a public, and it has to be public, right? Account name. So it has to be public, and you are simply displaying. So this is an instance of the class employee, and you are accessing what? You are accessing the method display name, which has been defined here, and simply you are accessing, right? This is by default public. The second one is a protected one, which is not public, neither private, but it is something like if you are declaring some variables or methods as protected, then they can be only used within the subclasses. That's it. Other than that, nobody else can use it. So if you have a class employee, this is the constructor. So you are declaring two variables here, name and age. Name is something which you want to keep it public. So you have not mentioned anything before the name, but age is something you want to keep it protected. So to define it as a protected variable, you are going to use this symbol, that is underscore. So underscore and the variable name after your self dot age, this will show that this is a protected variable. Now I have created another subclass, that is sub employee, which is inheriting the properties of employee, and I am declaring one method. I am defining one method show age, and here it is accessible in the subclass, right? So if I create an instance of the subclass and if I print them, it will be easily used because it is protected, right? So I hope you can understand this one. Now the third one is something which we called as a private. So what is private? Private which cannot be accessed directly outside the class. Only within the class you can access it. where you have declared it. So let us assume this is the class employee. This is the constructor. So I have name and salary, two variables. So name is something which is public, but salary is private. So how will I differentiate between protected and private is using this symbol, that is double underscore. So in protected we had single underscore, in private we have double underscore, and this is what is it, right? Now if I am declaring a method called as show salary, and I am saying now this variable salary can be accessible only within this class. If I write this method outside the class, it won't be accessible. Now here if I am declaring this employee as an instance, now this is going to get printed. This is being called, okay, you can access the method because it is a public method, but you cannot access this variable because it is private. Now how to access the private methods then? So for accessing the private methods, we have two methods which is called as the getter and the setter methods. So getter method is one of the inbuilt function, that is get underscore salary, whatever you write, okay, getter method. Now get underscore, if you write down, that is a getter method, and setter method is this. And using these two only you can access or set your value. Let us do one thing. Let us try these problems out like the private one in our Google Colab, and let us try to figure out how this can work. Okay, so let me first create a class employee. Right now I am defining a constructor in it, and I will have self, right? But yeah, I will have some other variables, name and salary, which I don't want to show. Okay, so what will I do is that self dot name is equals to name, it is public, but self dot I am putting private, so I will put two underscores, salary is equals to salary. Understood everyone? So this is how I am defining this class as a this variable salary as a private variable. Understood? Now what I want is private can be accessed only inside the class. So let me say I am defining a variable, a method show salary, and I am passing just self in it. Right now I can say, let's say print. Okay, I am printing, right? So print salary is self dot two underscores and a salary, right? This is what I want to do in this class, right? Now let us create one instance of the class employee. Employee is equals to emp employee. Understood? Now what will I do here is that I am calling, say print, I want to print the employee name. So employee dot name, I can print it. Yeah, but I have to pass these two as an argument. Sorry, I have not done it. So I can say Robert, and his salary is, let's say, 50,000. Okay, this I have passed. Now I want to print employee dot name. As far as good, it is going to get printed because name was a public variable. Now if I want to access employee dot, I am calling the method show salary, right? Then also it might work, right? 50,000, because you are calling this method show salary, which is a public. You have not defined it as something private or something, this variable, this method. So it is going here, control is going here, and it is declaring. Because what? Show salary is written inside the class. That is why it is able to access this salary variable. Otherwise it won't. But let's say for example, from here if you are writing employee dot salary, okay, you are trying to print, you are trying to access this variable from here, and now you see how you get an error. It has no attribute salary because it is not showing you. You cannot access salary directly from outside the class. You can only access indirectly via the methods which are defined inside that class. Understood? Now in order to access them, we have something called as the, I told you, you have something called as the getter and the setter methods. So let's say for example, again let us define the class employee. Okay, and I can say define, I am declaring only one variable right now, salary. Okay, self dot salary. Okay, so this I have declared, and I am saying self dot, I am declaring it as private. So it is self dot salary is equals to salary. Understood? Right. Now we are, okay, I can even assign the value. If you don't want to give it, you can even assign it. Let's say 40,000. Okay, I am doing it. I can do both the ways. Now, if I want to say define get salary, I want to define the getter method. Now you see here, get salary simply. Now get salary access, get is used for what? Reading the data, and set is used to update that data. Understood? So simply get salary will what? Return the salary value. It's enough, right? So get salary, you can say self, and it is going to return use self dot double underscore salary because it is private, right? Now, if you want to update this value of salary, so you can say set underscore salary, right? Now, when you are setting the salary means updating, you will be given some other value to which it will be updated. So that is the amount. So here we have two variables, right? One is the self and one is the amount. Now, if the user gives amount, you can put some checking over here. If amount is less than 0, then you can say if amount is greater than 0, then only you will update it, right? So you will say self dot salary is equals to the new amount. Say my salary has been updated. Otherwise, if he is giving some negative values, invalid values, then I will simply write down print invalid amount. Okay, this is what is it. Understood? Right. Now this has been done. Now what your getter and setter has been set. Now you want to access them. So let us do one thing. Employee is equals to employee, and you are simply creating an instance. Now you want to use the getter method. So employee dot get salary. Okay. And you can simply print the salary. Right. It will print it. Right. Missing. Okay. Yeah. Some value is being missing here. So let us do it. We will add it. Now. Okay, the error was that here what we have done is that here I have already initialized, but still I had given it as an argument. So don't give it as an argument when you are initializing. But suppose if you are not initializing, then you can give, if you are not initializing, then only you give the argument. Okay, I did both, right? So here I can give the value 40,000. 1 minute, I have. Right now, either you do one thing, either you initialize. If you are initializing the value, don't give it as an argument over here. Okay, that is what. Fine, not a problem. Now if I want to access the salary, okay, so I can say employee dot set salary. Now I will have to give the amount, so I am updating it to, let's say, 60,000. Okay, and now I can print employee. I can directly print. Understood? Dot get salary. Right, I can do it and I can get the updated salary 60,000, which was earlier not possible with the for accessing the value. So I hope you understood how can we use it. Now I have given one example here. You can solve this example on your own by writing the code. So here it is an banking example where we are using two types of methods. One is the protected method, which is show balance. Okay, balance showing is protected. Protected means what? It is not publicly displayed, but it can be accessed only by the subclasses of the account. And there is a private method called as an update balance, which is only very, very private, right? Now, you define a class bank account here. So you are defining the balance. You are initializing the balance to 1,000, let's say. Now you have two methods here, show balance. So show balance is protected. So there is a single underscore. So you are printing the balance. Another is the update balance, which is private. So you have double underscore and you are updating balance plus amount. This is a private method. Now you have two functions written here. We have written here. So it will deposit. So if you are depositing the money, then you have to update the balance, right? So if amount is greater than 0, so update, you are calling the method update balance with the amount, and you are simply displaying the balance. Otherwise, you are saying if the amount is giving some invalid amount, you will give invalid deposit amount. Now you create an instance of the class bank account and you access this method, private method. It will work because protected are treated as internal. But when you are trying to access this update balance, which is private, it will give you an error. Okay, so you just check it. Now account.deposit will, what will happen with this? Do try and tell me in the execution section, in the comment section, that whether you are able to access this or not. Please do try this example. This is going to be very, very useful to you. So I hope you understood the encapsulation in detail. Okay, how can you protect your variables, your methods from making them public all the time? So this is one of the major pillars of the object-oriented programming. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel, because we are going to discuss the fourth pillar, that is our abstraction, in the next video. Thank you.